Thank you, Dr. West.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to expound a little bit on Mark's representing the wondrous, awesome Tom Hartman out in Washington, D.C., giving a shout out to you. And he mentioned about an hour ago on the air that you and he had co-chaired some panels and other things at the Fighting Bob Follett Fest in Wisconsin, and I would very much like for you to expound a bit on your being exposed to the people in Madison and around Wisconsin, and what the impact of their quiet but determined resolve not to say no. I mean, they were always saying, yes, we will change things, but we will do it peacefully, we will do it forthrightly with integrity, and just show the sham of the corruption that is trying to dissolve and destroy our democracy. And I really appreciate your comments.
Well, my God, you said it so eloquently. I just want to say ditto and affirm it. Of course, we want to salute Brother Tom, but there's no doubt that the struggle of our brothers and sisters in Wisconsin played an important role as one of the catalysts for the kind of deep democratic awakening that we're talking about. It was heroic, it was sustained. They brought in a variety of different organizations, from labor movements, community organizations. They had prophetic religious institutions. They had professors. They had pharmacists. They had firemen. I mean, it was a huge alliance and coalition. There's no doubt about that.
And it was so affirmative.
And it was affirmative, absolutely, and nonviolent. And nonviolent.
So fighting means many things.
Fighting means a whole host of things.
The Fighting Bob Follett way of approaching things is perhaps more commendable than sheer mindless violence.
Well, no, mindless violence is always to be rejected. Always to be rejected. Definitely, very much so. As I said before, when we talked about the nonviolent movement of Martin King, let's say, versus a just war theory that I was to associate myself with, it's only under very, very distinctive circumstances that one even think about being violent. Now, in my own particular case, I mean, somebody messing with my mama, I'm not nonviolent. That's why I talk about I fight against Hitler. Hitler's going to be difficult in terms of being nonviolent. The leaders of apartheid in South Africa are going to be difficult in terms of it. Now, we're nowhere near that, but I'm just talking about the theory of it. But we can come together and have a discussion and dialogue and critical exchange about it, because any kind of movement like Occupy movement is going to have a variety of different voices and viewpoints and visions. Absolutely. We got some anarchist brothers and sisters here. Oh yeah, I love my anarchic brothers and sisters. I'm not an anarchist, but I learn a whole lot from them. Oh yes. We've got some socialist brothers and sisters here. Oh yes, I learn a whole lot from my dear socialist brothers and sisters. We got some communists. We got the progressives who believe in the mixed economy and the welfare state. Hey, that's fine. We all still together. We got overlap. We might even have some Republicans stumbling by.
One was arrested in Portland.
One was arrested in Portland.
One was arrested, an 81-year-old man who was arrested in Portland, who came down to make sure that police brutality didn't happen, was brutalized by police. And when he was interviewed the next day, he said, I'd do it again.
He would do it again. I mean, you take a brother like Ron Paul. Now, Ron Paul, he's got a lot of challenges. But he has the courage to stand right there with the mediocre Republican candidates and say, America is an empire. He's right about that. So the government's corrupt. He's right about that. He says, do away with most of government. He's dead wrong about that. But we got overlap. You see what I mean? And that's what movements are. You don't want just a mono-dimensional movement of one particular orientation or party line and all this other mess. We got to be jazz-like. Look at Duke Ellington's band. What is distinctive about Duke Ellington's band? He's one voice among others. Hit it, Johnny Hodges, take it over. Hit it, Gonzalez, take it over. Sometimes Gonzalez might play for 18 minutes, sometimes he play for 2 minutes, depends on what kind of mood he's in. And Duke is supposed to be head, but he's just one voice on the piano. Some nights he has no solos at all, but it's the Duke Ellington Band, because jazz is deep democratic action in its symbolic form. Lift every voice. That's the anthem of black people, right? Black folk created the democratic form of jazz, even though we in many ways have been the fundamental victims of American democracy, along with our red brothers and sisters, but embracing everybody. And that's what it's about. When you jazz, like, you got to be self-critical, transparent, visionary, courageous, do your homework, improvisational, spontaneous, disciplined, and have a little style. That's what it is. When I stepped up here, who did I invoke? Jimi Hendrix. Come on, y'all, you know what that means. That's right, I'm not invoking an entertainer. I'm not invoking somebody walk around with his guitar left-handed. I'm talking about a genius who comes out of a tradition of struggle that's connected to lifting his voice, embracing everybody, and at the same time dealing with the demons inside of him, even as he's trying to keep track of the angels inside of other folk. That's the Jimi Hendrix we're talking about. That's Seattle at